Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube Happy Visas. My name is Philip Port and today I'm going to show you Techno Park and I'm going to explain why you should buy and why you shouldn't buy. So I'm going to give you all the pros and cons. I'm going to give you the possible downsides, the possible upsides. Great time to buy if you're an expat and you've got foreign currency. Absolutely wonderful time to buy. But anyway, I'm going to show you Techno Park, and as I walk around Techno Park, I'm going to explain why it's a good time to buy in Techno Park, why it's a good time to buy in general. So let's go guys. I'm going to start off. This is my favorite area of Moscow. It's actually very quiet here. It's called Techno Park. It's a lot of office environments, and if you can see right at the end of the road, that's where the river is. There's a river, and that big white building at the end is you know, on the other side of the water. They are building a bridge, should be completed I guess in the next 3-4 months. Now Techno Park is looking like a building site. Now just to put things in perspective on the prices, I bought in that orange building 42.4 square meters, 42.4 for 6 million rubles about 5 years ago. But unfortunately, them deals have gone, don't exist anymore. Since then, all of these buildings have been built. As you can see, beautiful buildings. To me, it just reminds me of, I don't know, a little Manhattan, for example. Now, there is a lot of, you know, building like on the side streets, doing all the pavements and things like that. They are doing it extremely quickly, you know, because obviously a lot of people have now moved into these buildings. They've just got the keys, they're doing the fittings and things like that. Now, you know, there's a big sign. I'm going to take you round to the river. There's some garbage. I'm going to take you round to the river. As you can see, they're offering a 20% discount on the billboards there, just down there. Nice 20% discount. Whether that's a true discount, I'm not sure. You know what I see on Cian and Repetit and sorry, not Repetit, on Avito, I'm seeing you know, quite expensive prices. But as I said earlier, if you've got dollars or pounds or euros, you know, take away all the conflicts and things like this, it's never been that low. Yes, we've had it shoot to 180, 190. Probably a little bit of manipulation by the powers that be to, you know, pay all the pensioners, and to pay that they do take advantage, but it very quickly recovered and actually went to the strongest it had been since 2014. So yeah, I think they're going to get rid of all that warehousing. They're going to be building beautiful houses all the way down. That's, you know, and you can see, you know, nice offices here. It goes all the way down, about a 5-minute walk. And if you look, let me show you over here as well, you know, how it's all going to pan out. You can see a beautiful, let me just modify my my thing a little bit. It doesn't want to move. Okay, so yeah, this is how it's all going to pan out here. They are offering a 20% discount, but look how beautiful that is. Absolutely. I mean, does that not remind you of New York, Manhattan? I'm not sure where, but yeah, as you can see, beautiful buildings here all the way up. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm gonna explain, you know, why you should buy and why you shouldn't buy. And basically, they have built too many houses. I mean, there's just, you know, it's gone absolutely mental on the amount of new builds that you can get in Moscow at the moment. As I said, this is my favorite area. I think you can get great value here. You know, very modern business class buildings, and the excuse me. So yeah, they've gone mental, overproduced, and that has driven up the prices. The mortgages for a new build are about 6.5%. Add on the insurance, it's going to bring it up to about 6.9%. So you know, these are government-backed mortgages. In other words, it's a mortgage supplied by the government. If you buy on the secondary market, you're going to be paying about 11%. You can pay, a premium. You can pay like a few 100,000 rubles, and they might give you, like VTB Bank might give you 8.3%, 8.4%. They're the best I found for giving mortgages, VTB. Not a big fan of Sberbank. They always have these, they seem to be great deals, but it always, when I do the calculations, it always works out much more expensive. VTB Bank, if you apply for a mortgage, they do lock in your savings. You've got to put the money there, and then they'll offer you a mortgage. And imagine you don't get the mortgage and you've transferred all your funds there. So you've got to be a little bit careful there. But yeah, I found out of all the banks, for mortgages, I wouldn't say for savings, I think probably one of the worst for savings. VTB Bank is, offers the best rate on the secondary market. It doesn't matter on the new market, it's a government approved loan, but on the secondary market, where you can get some fantastic deals, they're already decorated. Look at that. I mean, that is absolutely beautiful what they've done around there. There's basketball courts over there. This is a beautiful workstation. I was working there the other day from there, and as you can see across the river again, there's a big bridge where you see all them cranes. There's a big bridge being built to get across to that area. And yeah, so a beautiful area is Techno Park. I do like it. Sorry if the camera's a bit jerky, I am walking. And yeah, so absolutely a great area. A lot of coffee shops here, a lot of places to dine out. There is Dreamland just across the road, about a 7-8 minute walk from here, and I think it's one of the biggest in Europe. How would you describe it? Similar to Disneyland or Disney World. Beautiful place. Not if you're going to book tickets to go to Dreamland, booking them on the internet, because it's a little bit cheaper. It's about £29 a ticket, which if 3 of you go, it's quite expensive. So yeah, but beautiful places, Dreamland. Look at that, and that is absolutely amazing. Now, what you've got to be a little bit aware of, people do panic in Russia. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. That could drive down the markets even more. Property prices in the last, say, 4 years have gone up probably about 60% in Moscow went up in price, have now come down a little bit. So you're looking at about from 2019, you're looking at, if you would have bought in 2019, you would have got about a 50% discount. But probably you've offset some of that, not all, on the currency devaluation if you're paying in dollars or euros and things like that. So there is some offset there, not a lot. Your rentable income, let's say you wanted it as an investment, work on about 3.5%. You're not going to get much. A lot of people, it's a downside is, why would you pay 11% mortgage when you could probably rent and not have the extra bills, let's say. You could probably rent for a lot cheaper, as I just said, 3.5%, let's say. So why would you buy on an 11% mortgage? If you put that, let's say you put 50% down and 50% mortgage, don't forget you're losing on your savings. On a 3-month access at the moment, Sberbank is offering 7%, which is quite good. You've got to give 3 months notice, or otherwise you lose the interest. You've got to keep it there for 3 months, sorry. Otherwise you're going to lose your interest that you've accrued. So you've got to think, well, I'm losing, let's say you buy for 20 million rubles, which is about, $220,000, bargain in my opinion. Let's say you did that, you're going to be losing on 10 million, 7% a year that you could put the money in the bank. So that's 700,000 rubles a year lost there. And then you're going to be paying, 1.2 million on the other 10 million. So why would you spend 1.9 million rubles a year to buy when probably you could rent quite a good place for about 70,000, 75, maybe 80,000 rubles a month, which is, about 960,000. So there is a big saving to have, and you also save a little bit on the property taxes, you save a little bit on the bills if you don't, if you're not the owner, because the owner has to pay certain extra bills. But to put it in perspective as well, I've got to go back here, it's all locked off. I didn't know that. Let's have a look down here anyway. So yeah, that's not finished yet. That's a bit of a shame. So yeah, just show you up there. Let me just do you a panorama. Beautiful. Yeah, so why would you, thinking about it logically, why would you spend all that extra cash when it's so much cheaper to rent? So you've got to look at that if you want to rent out your flat, but it's still a bargain. I mean, Moscow is one of the best cities in the world. Don't believe what you hear in the news. It's a very cosmopolitan city. Absolutely amazing city, to tell you the truth. Anything that you've got in the West, probably you've got a little bit more here. So you want to go bowling, you want to go play billiards, want to do anything, you want to go to the cinema. Okay, admittedly the cinema is not got international movies at the moment. But anyway, yeah, whatever you want to do in Moscow, it has everything. I love dropping off my son. I've got a 5-year-old boy. I drop him off, they look after him, and in play groups and things like that, and I'm spending about £8-9 a day. I normally leave him there for about 3-4 hours. £8-9, that allows me to go out for a meal, allows me to do something. Great play centres, great for the family, absolutely fantastic for the family here. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm hoping I can go up here and get to the main street again. Now also, why I think property prices will go up, there's a lot of Ukrainians, for obvious reasons, moving to Russia. A lot of them want to live in Moscow, so that's going to be a driving force. In the very short term, probably interest rates will go up just to protect the ruble. That might have an effect on property prices, but in my opinion, as soon as they get inflation under control, I think you're going to see interest rates going down from about an average of about 11% down to about 6%. Admittedly, it'll take a couple of years, but you don't want to be buying when interest rates are low, because property prices will be high. I would rather buy when interest rates are crazy expensive, just simply because it means I can get a great deal, on a flat. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's better to buy on the secondary market, in my opinion, with the exception of Techno Park. People don't want to buy the second-hand market. So let's take this business. Some people like to flip them. They're bought in here, got a mortgage of 6.5%. I come along, I want to buy it, but why would I buy it on the secondary market from them an interest rate of 10.9%? I'd have to be mad. They've got an interest rate of 6.5. They sell it, they close the deal. It's not a new building anymore. It's not new. So all of a sudden, people don't want to buy at that extra, 4% interest rate, let's say. And so they're offering some really, really big discounts on the secondary market. The other thing is, maybe, sorry about the noise here, a little dump with cement mixer going past. So why would you buy on you know, the secondary market. Why would you buy on the secondary market unless you were getting a big discount? Or, which often happens, they decorate them. In other words, they make them really good. And I just made an offer on a flat. I lowballed it. I regretted it because then somebody else bought it. I was gutted. It was still a good price, but I thought I would make a lowball offer, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm looking to buy, probably in Techno Park. My son is probably going to be going to school in Sockle, so Sockle is an option as well. But I would really like to buy in Techno Park as I can, because it's just happening here. Nice cafes, a couple of little beautiful pubs, really good restaurants. Sorry about the sun here. Okay, that's not very good. Right, let me try and twist it. So yeah, this is a little bit of a walk around Techno Park. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just making, really, I'm looking for that person who's panicking, wants to get out of the country. I think they're idiots myself. I think they're perfectly fine here, but I'm going to take advantage of it. If people think it's unsafe here, which is not the case, it's 100% safe here, much safer than most cities around the world. I've been here, you know, more than 10 years, probably 15 years, and I've never ever had a problem. Touch wood, I'll probably go and get a good beating now. Oh, nice little dog there. Don't often see that in Moscow, probably because it's the building sites. Normally they're pretty good on that. I don't often see dogs around. In the suburbs you see a lot of street cats, but that's all. So yeah, I'm going to take you to the bridge now. I'm going to have a walk along the bridge. And sorry about this. Yeah, sorry about that. The cement mixer passed again. Yeah, so I'm going to take you to the bridge now. Some great deals, slightly cheaper on the other side of the bridge by the looks of it. Not much, but on new buildings, a little bit cheaper. You can normally now, there used to be, you know, 216, 217. If you paid early, there used to be some fantastic deals. Now, for some reason, even though they're building like crazy, new buildings, the prices haven't come down. In fact, in some instances, I guess because building materials have gone up, they've actually increased their prices, and that makes no sense to me. You know, I still think it's a great time to buy, but you know, when you're overproducing something, you know, what normally happens is the prices go down, not up. So yeah, you know, inflation's starting to come under control again, so that should bring down the price of construction materials, but that hasn't reflected in the price of the property. And yeah, so a little bit strange market, to tell you the truth. Yes, it is cheap, yes, compared to major cities like, you know, New York or London, very, very cheap compared to them. You know, Russia was probably per square meter one of the most expensive countries, but now, obviously because of the devaluation, it's gone to 90 to the dollar. It used to be 31, 32 to the dollar. So yeah, they're building a bridge here, as you can see. That's across the river from Techno Park to Zil, and I'm just going to show you the river here as well. So they're building a bridge across the river. I'm also looking at Zil. If I can't, you know, if I can't find value in Techno Park, if nobody accepts my lowball offers, I might cross the water to Zil. Little bit cheaper, but not much, as I've said, and I'll probably look on the secondary market. You know, when you buy on the new market, it's a shell in most instances. In other words, add on another 2.53 million rubles, obviously depending on the size of the flat, but add about 2.53 million rubles for decoration. And drop me a line if you need a good builder. I've only got one, Abdullah. Known him for 10 years. Fantastic, for building inside the flat, for decoration and things like that. But he is very, very busy. So I'm hoping when I buy my flat, if it's if it's a new one, him and his son, they will, do my flat again. I've recommended them to friends, and they've always come back with positive feedback. Again, he's from Dagestan. A lot of people, wouldn't use somebody from Dagestan, but for me, fantastic. He's always given me a fair price, and he's always done a fantastic job. So yeah, if you need Abdullah's details, drop me a line, and I'll pass him your contacts or whatever. Yeah, but as I said, he might be very, very, very busy, and I don't have really. I have other builders who are good through my business partner Anya. She always uses a different set of builders, but I would say they're about 30-40% more expensive. So if they're charging you, 1 million rubles, Abdullah would probably charge you 700,000 rubles. But admittedly, they did a fantastic job, absolutely amazing job. So as you can see over there, that's a bridge going over to Zil, almost complete. Should be open soon. I'm gonna switch the camera now this way, so I do apologize, just simply because the sun might get in the way. Just let me show you down there as well. Let me do another panorama. Apologies about the sun. And that's a walk around Techno Park, and you can see across the river Zil. And there's like warehouses here. I'm pretty sure they're going to get rid of them. They're empty. There is some warehouse space near the metro system, or near where I started off. Once they get rid of that, the whole you'll be able to go by the river embankment virtually everywhere by what we call samokat, or a scooter, electric scooter, by bicycle. You'll be able to do that. So yeah, that's a thing you might you want to bear. I think it would take another year, maybe another 2 years. The problem is they've been building, digging up the side street now for 5 years. Obviously, because they've done all of that. On the way to the metro, it's been not that good actually, but they promised that very, very soon the authorities, all this construction works, all this heavy equipment, all this digging up the roads will be coming to an end soon, because all the residents, obviously, they're complaining. Ever since I've bought my flat more than 5 years ago, it's always been like that, all the way to the metro. So I'm hoping it will finish as well. I don't live in Techno Park anymore. I just have a little cash cow, rent it out. So that's what I do. So just to recap, guys, we'll head back down here. So there's lots of buildings being built, but just to recap, Techno Park, in my opinion, is the best area. The overbuilding, don't be scared to push down on prices. Really, really negotiate. They still have a huge amounts of property to sell. Probably, I don't know, I'm only guessing here, but from what I see on Cian, they've probably sold about 70% of the completed buildings, and I wouldn't know what they've sold of the uncompleted building, but I guess it's only 20-30%. So they've got a lot of buildings to sell, and at the end of the day, not many people in Moscow can afford 20 million rubles. Salaries have gone up a lot. Salaries have gone up a lot because, you know, the economy is doing really, really well. But, you know, if you're earning 100,000 rubles a month, you can't really afford a mortgage of, you know, 120,000. So that's where I think that there's some great deals to have. And as that board said at the beginning, minus 20%, they're giving you a 20% discount. So that's where we're at. So, yeah, so consider the secondary market, you can get some good deals. Consider the economy's booming. There's a lot of mixed messages, a lot of headwinds, but a lot of positives as well. I mean, a lot of good things going for it. So yeah, just a reminder, a lot of Ukrainians will probably move to Moscow, so that's going to increase the population. Everybody in Russia wants to live in Moscow, they all love Moscow, so that's going to support, well, has supported property prices. So my prediction is, you know, look at about every year from now on, I would say look at a 10% price increase, unless the ruble plummets. If the ruble plummets and goes to like 150 to the dollar or something like that, and it did it for a couple of weeks, you know, obviously for geopolitical reasons, people panic, but the government took advantage of it. They paid off all the pensioners and all the government workers, so it was actually very good for the Russian economy short term. Tax on the people, obviously. So yeah, so if the ruble plummets and you've changed your pounds or your dollars, you're going to be in trouble. But if you take a dollar, if you take a ruble mortgage, you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank if you've got hard currency. So yeah, so I'm, you know, a lot of headwinds, but I'm a 100% buy. You know, what have you got? You've got the dollar and the euro extremely overvalued against the ruble, extremely overvalued. The Russian government, they took the medicine by, you know, manipulating exchange rates when people were panicking, and they took full advantage of that. You know, and in the West, all we did was print euros, all we did was print dollars. We had the printing presses out on maximum, and that has to come back to haunt the dollar. People are, you know, China doesn't want to accept dollars anymore. India doesn't want to accept dollars. All these countries don't want to accept them, and eventually the dollar will have nowhere to go except for down. So my opinion is that, you know, it's a definite buy, but bear in mind as well, you take a ruble mortgage. You know, my prediction is within 12 months the ruble will be quite strong again. I don't think it's going to be this ridiculously cheap. So if you're taking, and I did that actually, I took I think it was in 2014, just before Crimea, you know, the things that happened in Crimea, obviously. I took a 4 million ruble credit in dollars, so it was basically $75,000 I took. If I would have waited 1 month, I would have only needed to get that 4 million rubles. I would have only needed 50,000. So I lost, in the space of, let's say, a month, I was paying, you know, I took a $75,000 mortgage instead of a $50,000 mortgage. So I got it wrong. I was gutted, absolutely. It was a horrible period for me. Got over it all, everything good now. So anyway, yeah, you've got to be careful. Imagine you take a ruble mortgage and the ruble gets stronger and you think you'll pay it off in hard currency. I don't think this ridiculously low value of the ruble will last much longer. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. So guys, look, I hope you like Techno Park. You know, my opinion, it's one of the best areas in Moscow now. It went from being nothing to, look at this beauty. Look at that, just absolutely wonderful. And all the businesses, all the restaurants and cafes that have come here, and it's very quiet. It's ridiculously quiet here. So yeah, despite you know, all the buildings and things like that, I don't know how it'll be in a you know, in a year's time when everybody's moved in, but yeah. So guys, I really hope you like Techno Park. I've given you an overview, you know, of the property prices and my predictions. You know, I think despite all the headwinds, if you've got dollars or you've got pounds or you've got euro, get them changed now. Buy yourself a flat. If you need any advice, drop me a line in the comments below. Yeah, thank you guys. Bye guys, thank you.